Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts, see what the story is and what it may be. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this quick since there's not much to update on, but I do want to give a quick recap on what's been going on today. All right, so for Bitcoin, as yes, we are still long this position. Quickly, we're long everything we're going to go over today. So Bitcoin, Avalanche, Ethereum, Polkadot, Link, Cardano, and Solana. And we may take a look at other coins, but I'm mainly going to focus on these. Again, not much to update on since not much has changed. So currently, we are still holding this major support zone of 20,000 to 18,000, right? So this general support zone is major, and yet we have yet to see price action come down to the bottom wick here to challenge. All right, so far we're showing signs of holding 20,000, and now we're going to see if we're going to get that continuation to the upside to test this descending trend line as resistance and possibly break out and then create that bullish consolidation I've been looking for to make a move higher to take care of this top pivot at 21,880 or 22,000. Let's make it even. Okay, so if that gets taken out, then I see us getting towards my ultimate level of 24,000, 25,000 before. And this is the level, again, I want to reiterate, this is the level where we can see where the macro bearish trend continues lower. Okay, so prior to this level, it's probable that we break higher. Once we get to this level, price action has to prove it becomes a neutral level, in the sense that in the short term it becomes neutral, that whether we're going to have continuation higher via a bullish consolidation, or if we're looking at a macro trend, then the probabilities are to the downside. Okay, always the probabilities will take on the side of the current trend, and the macro trend is to the downside clearly, right? All right, hopefully that makes sense. In my opinion, though, based off my experience and how these market structures look, based off of this pattern and that it played out 1-to-1, it had a 1-to-1 move as it reached 25,000. What's likely to happen is it'll get to this level, start a bullish consolidation, and then break higher. Okay, probably towards the 20 to 30,000 zone, and that's when I see the markets continuing to the downside. Okay, but again, it's gonna be very determinative on once we get here, if the general market participant, so the retail trader, the retail investor, if they're overly bearish here, then we'll see a move to the upside and maybe even higher than 30,000. But if they're overly bullish here, then I would be concerned that this would be that topping move for the relief rally, and we do get that continuation to the downside. So that's why, what do I always sign out on every video? Be vigilant. Be vigilant. And then you have to be nimble, right? So what's the point of being vigilant if you can't move? Make sure you're vigilant and make sure you're nimble, because we're always going to end up wrong at some point. All right? So if I'm wrong and we start seeing signs that the market, the relief rally is topping out here, I'll have to seriously consider closing the Bitcoin long, even in a slight loss. It'll be in a loss here, but not a huge loss, but it would be in a loss, because then the break lower would likely be way more painful. And we're talking sub 18,000. So again, we're just mapping what may be, not what is, but we want to be prepared for any sort of scenario we find ourselves in. All right. So first off, let's see if we can get past this descending trend line and then conquer this top pivot at 21,880. So that'll be our first test. All right, so going on to Avalanche. So Avalanche, liking what I'm seeing. Beautiful. Almost a cup and handle pattern here, right? Like it's really pretty. And again, it's been holding this minor support level here, right? It kind of been painting this support level right here, and so far we're seeing possible continuation to the upside. Like Bitcoin, Avalanche has to look to try and conquer this top pivot at 22. But I do see Avalanche looking relatively strong compared to Bitcoin. I actually think Avalanche is probably going to break this top pivot at 22, and if it does, then look for a quick move all the way up towards $30, and then that's where you'll have its first test. If Bitcoin's showing any weakness, then Avalanche will have a pretty hard rejection there. If Bitcoin's showing stability or even upside, then look for this old doodle to play out, and we will probably get to $40 really quickly, and maybe even $50. All right, so Avalanche looks great. I love its structure. It's overall bullish. It's like this structure is overall bullish, this descending price action, and now that it's starting to go sideways and showing a possible cup and handle sword formation, sort of like this. Sorry for all the doodles. I know it's not very clean. Let me just get rid of this real quick. Oops. Oh, I'll redraw that. So sort of like this. It's kind of a janky cup and handle, but it's there. It's there. So like this, beautiful. Like that's what we want to see. We want to see if this structure can play out and break this top pivot at 22 and change. All right. So we're going to stick long here, and we'll see how that plays out. So going on to Ethereum next, holding major support, broke through this descending trend line, kind of coiling through. Okay. So now we're going to see if it can get that continuation to try and fight this level here. So this level at 1200, 1250 is going to be pretty tough. It's actually going to be pretty tough for Ethereum. And Ethereum structure is less bullish than everyone else's. It does have a ascending sort of structure to it. Okay. So what do I say about these patterns and how you read them? Always remember that bullish structures, bullish patterns tend to drift down, and then bearish structures, bearish patterns tend to drift up. Okay. They don't always, again, it's not perfect. It's all probabilities based. But when you see something like this, you do want to be a little careful. It's not mature. All right. It's not mature. So it does need some more time to confirm this possibly being an upward wedge. But I am seeing it possibly playing out. That's not good. Okay. Because if you want Ethereum to break up higher, you want the probabilities to be on your side. And if it is an upward wedge, then the probabilities are that it breaks to the downside and goes back to 900 to test this bottom wick here again as support. And again, maybe it'll hold, maybe it won't. But if Bitcoin does have a very powerful move going past 25,000 or going towards 25,000, then Ethereum should follow suit and potentially break out to the upside. All right. And if it does break out to the upside, 1700 has always been the level I've said to look out for. I think 1700 and possibly all the way up towards 1900 will be massive resistance. Getting past that would be very surprising. I think Bitcoin would have to be passing or getting towards 30,000 for Ethereum to be breaking past 1900 and getting past 2000. Okay, so going to Polkadot. Polkadot having a fairly weak day compared to a lot of other coins, but again, holding structure, yet to test this bottom wick yet, but it is holding structure, and unlike Ethereum, has a more bullish structure to it. So going from this high pivot here to here, you're seeing a descending structure, which is what you want to see on top of major support, right? That's what you want to see. Okay, because we're clearly seeing that this level here, and then this level here, and then this level here, these three levels are all acting as a support zone, and we're having this descending trend line come out. So this is kind of what you want to see. This is what you want to see to possibly show signs of a short-term reversal of a trending move, and in this case, a reversal from the downside to go up. So beautiful. If it does break up, look for 8 and change, 850 to be tested, and then eventually 9 and change, and possibly 10. And if Bitcoin's breaking past that 30,000 mark, then look for Polkadot's probably getting past $10, going to at least $12 and probably 14. All right. Link's looking even stronger. Maybe the strongest chart we've seen. Beautiful. This bottom wick barely tested, and when it did get tested, it just bounced right off, and now it's having a nice potentially bottom sort of structure here. I really like this. And again, my target is this descending blue line, so from $9, and possibly, depending on how slow it takes, it could be even less, it could be about $8 and change. But I do like this structure, and it's a descending structure. Trust your eyes, right? You can tell this is a descending structure because it's descending, okay? So if you're unsure of how to see this stuff, just trust your eyes, all right? You can tell when something's descending, and you can tell when something's ascending, all right? Okay, so let's take a look at Cardano. And Cardano, which is also really powerful too. maybe Cardano and Link definitely look the strongest of the altcoins so far, and how they're holding this structure. I love this little zone it's made for itself, and now we're gonna see if it's gonna have that oomph, that push to test this top pivot right here, 52 and a half cents. If we get past that, then Cardano should have the gumption to get past 60 cents, or at least test 60 cents. So I really like Cardano. I think there's a lot of potential here for a big volatile move to the upside. It seems very tight, very squeezed, right? It seems very squeezed. So when you see stuff like that, look for a move that's going to be really strong, really violent to one direction or the other. Of course, this could lead to a big move to the downside, but the probabilities are to the upside because the structure itself is descending on top of major support, right? On top of major support. So we do want to keep that in mind, that you are having a somewhat bullish structure here. All right. And off to Solana. And Solana, I do like this too. Really fought under this trend line, finally broke through. Didn't quite get back to it, but kissed the zone of it. And now it's looking, I think it's having some trouble, but it's looking to try and break past 38 and change. Couldn't really get through here. Had a breakout, but never closed above the high of this daily candle, and then sold back under. But I do like how it's kind of bottoming out here. See, they all have this rounding little bottom here, short-term rounding structure here, and this almost looks like a cup and handle as well, right? So you take a look at that. Like it's I love this sort of structure. This is what you want to see after a trending move to the downside, right? This is potentially very nice. And percentage gains wise, Solana has the most potential, right? Because if it breaks past 38 and change, and then it's past this pivot here, okay, that's 30. Hold up. It gets past this top pivot here at 42 and change, then Solana doesn't have much stopping it when it getting towards $60, okay? And if it gets to $60 and Bitcoin's breaking past 25,000 or breaking towards 30,000, look for a big move going to 75 to 80, $85. I mean, the percentage gain potential here is massive. And the key level for the break is going to be, firstly, of course, this bottom pivot here at $45, and then $60. If it breaks past $60, I mean, it's going to be a really quick move up to $75 to $85. And we could tell this because just based off the price action in the past, there's not much here. It's just air. So watch for this level to get tested if this does indeed prove to be a bottoming structure for a relief rally, okay? And again, I'm still bearish, okay? I'm still bearish even now, even after this drop. As we were mapping this out months ago, I was telling you that you're going to see Bitcoin break under 30,000 because what? This structure was designed to do that. That's what this was made to do. Broke under, okay? And it broke much farther and much faster than I expected it, okay? I thought it would get around these levels, but not this quickly. And now, in my opinion, we're going to see that move to the possibly 30,000 mark, then have that continuation of the macro trend, and you're probably going to see a 15, maybe even a 12,000 Bitcoin, okay? Getting under there, well, again, we have to wait and see how the structure looks, how price action plays out, but I do think there's going to be more downside. But we are in the works, possibly getting ready for a pretty nice relief rally, and it could even exceed 30,000, depending on how bearish the retail investor and trader is at the time. All right, so I'm going to go over today. Just going to focus on the positions we're in. Make sure you're in the call out service. I don't like pushing it that much, but I mean, today we closed about 30% in gains in our stock call outs with Carvana and C Limited, 20% off of Carvana and about 10% off of C Limited. So, I mean, it's $15 a month, and you can make that back very, very quickly. I mean, those trades only took about 4 or 5 days. So if you're not in the call out service, do yourself a favor, take a quick look at it, try it out. It's very, very, very profitable, very affordable, and I think it's a very good service. Okay, and make sure as the world gets crazier, you stay sane. Okay, make sure that you stay empathetic, and make sure that you always keep a soft heart towards people, because it's going to get harder out there, guys. All right. And remember, guys, always remember this. Never forget this. Be vigilant, be patient, and be nimble. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.